Get started. This is a meeting of the Rutland Zoning Board of Appeals. Um, Present are Tamika Murphy, Administrative Assistant, Chris Sunicle, Vice Chair, Bob Paulson, Jake Morris, and Art Wells. Paul Corain, I'm sorry. I don't know if I mentioned. So, do I need to hit the record on this, or are we all set? Because I
We
keep,
should be all set, Rick, because RCTV is
yeah,
signed on.
I see them. I see them. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. So, hi, Paul. We didn't connect with you. Can you hear us?
Yep, I'm good.
Excellent, excellent. How are you doing?
Super, thank you.
Okay, good, good, good. All right. So, and I'm Rick Surratt. The first item on the agenda is a petition by Elizabeth Hussey for a front setback variance. She has constructed a shed, and apparently the shed got delivered before a permit was issued. And once the shed is in place, it's kind of tough to move it. So she has filed for this variance um, for the front setback. So the I'm just going to read the standard real quick. To be granted a variance, the petitioner must establish that owing to circumstances relating to the soil conditions, shape or topography of such land or structures, especially affecting said land or structures but not affecting generally the zoning district in which it is located, a literal enforcement of the provisions of the bylaw would involve a substantial hardship, financial or otherwise, and that desirable relief may be granted without substantial detriment to the public good and without nullifying or substantially derogating from the intent or purpose of the bylaw. It's a hard standard, it's a tough standard, but we try to look at each one of these individually. My understanding by looking at the map that the map that you have provided, which we appreciate you providing, and I think it was emailed to everybody, is that this shed is located on a slope, Miss Hussey?
So the shed itself is on a level pad, but there
Right.
is a slope in the front of the property.
Okay. So can you just tell the board why that particular spot was chosen, or why you thought you had to locate it there? The
Um,
shed there?
so from the beginning, I was not aware of everything that I'm now aware of, which I regret. I didn't know all what I was getting into actually.
Okay.
But this, in terms of the property, this is really the only spot that it works, that where there's not a slope, where there's not woods, where there's not trees, garden,
Okay.
or other things.
Okay. So all right. So it's a 30-foot requirement. By looking at the map, it looks like you've got 10 feet. So you're looking for a 20-foot variance. I mean, the board will discuss that later. But is that your understanding as we're talking now, Ms. Hussey?
Um, well, I'm not really familiar with how this works. Um, there's as I described in the letter I sent, the easement from the road to the wall it varies somewhat, but it's where the shed is, it's about 24 feet.
Okay.
So the shed is not up against the road
Right.
by any means. Um,
Okay. So arguably, if you're about 20, if that town easement is 20 feet, I mean, you almost don't need a variance. But we're going to discuss this with the board. All right. So is there anything else you want to share at this point right now?
I um, do want to emphasize that there are no other houses that can even see this accessory building.
Okay, okay,
And, you know, the distance from the road to the wall, as you're probably aware, varies a lot. And it's like just across the street from where the shed is, the distance is about 5 feet. So, to me, this whole thing just seems like unbelievably strange.
okay, all right, that's fine. All right, that's fine, but, you know, we have the bylaw, and we have to follow the bylaw, and you did the right thing by filing for this. Chris, would you like to comment on it at this time?
I would just have one question for the applicant, if I can.
Sure.
The distance from where the shed is right now to your stone wall, what is that distance, Ms. Hussey? Do you know what that distance is?
10 feet.
10 feet. So it's 10 feet, and that's the shortest distance. Is the shed is pretty much squared up with the stone wall, so it's 10 feet on both corners, so to speak.
Pretty much. It's a little, the wall is not exactly straight. So
Sure.
it's not a complete parallel.
Give or take a couple inches or so, right?
I'm counting the wall as my part.
Sure.
And the other thing, I'm sorry, I just came home from work and it's hard for me to focus on this. But the other thing I wanted to emphasize that's in the letter I sent is that when I was in the process of getting the building permit, I did get through the Viewpoint app a message that said that the distance was 10 feet. So I was told by the town that the distance was 10 feet.
10 feet, just so you know, just for sake of knowledge, there are different setbacks. 10 feet is the side yard setback.
That's not what it said, though. It
Excuse
said,
me, let me just speak here. Okay, thank you. The side setbacks are 10 feet, the front is 30. There's different dimensions if you're on a corner lot, just so you understand. I don't expect, I'm not saying you're an expert of the zoning bylaws. And, you know, I'm not sure who sent that to you, what their intention was, but, you know, regardless, I just want to let you know that, that's all. Okay, so the shed is already there, correct? It's already in place and installed?
yes.
Okay. All right. I don't know. I mean, Rick, I drove by there. I mean, to me, the stone wall's there. There's oak trees there. I mean,
Yeah,
you know, it's,
okay,
yeah, I don't know if there's any abutters, I guess.
It's also
Yeah.
not unsightly. Like that my understanding was like the reason this bylaw is there is so people don't put unsightly buildings in their front yard.
well, an attractive building always helps, so,
If I had to move it, I would end up with something from Harbor Freight in that spot.
okay,
And Rick, I would just like to say, after driving by there is no hazard to any traffic.
okay,
But you know, from the edge of the road to the stone wall is like 5 feet of oak trees. They're thick 12-inch trees plus. There's got to be 10 or 15 of these things. I mean, you know, then there's a stone wall, and then the shed's 10 feet off of that. So,
right,
you know, we had there was another case like this we had up off of 56, I think, where it was the same situation. You know, where there's some trees and stone wall, and then, you know, a variance situation. So from a safety point of view from traffic, I don't see any issue.
okay, all right.
Hey,
Thanks,
Chris,
Bill.
Chris, I have a question for you. How close was the nearest abutter?
There isn't a abutter up the road. There's 95 that's up the road. God, it's a ways away. It's hundreds of feet away.
We've notified them and nobody showed up, right? So,
Yeah, I don't see any abutters. I mean, on the plot plan, she's got 145 feet from that edge of the shed towards her abutter. And Bob, that house is like further, like another, you know, that's up a ways too. It's very heavily wooded on her lot and their lot. If you look at Google, it's very thick, you know, trees all around. So as far as someone seeing it from another house, I mean, her house is closer to their house than this shed would be. Let's put it.
The one question I have is where's the actual where's your property line? I didn't really make that out on the plans that she had set. Where's this? It's a stone wall, the property line, or is it the street on that?
It's looking like it's the street.
Well, just like I drove by. So see, do you have the plot plan that they attached to the email to me sent out?
Yeah.
Put on your screen just to give you a description of what you're looking at. They show the stone wall on that plan, and then Turkey Hill Road is just in front of that stone wall. But like a typical, road. I mean, Turkey Hill's like pretty paved. It's a good size. It's a decent sized road. There's about a 5 to 10. It varies along the stone walls that are on this road, but anywhere from 5 to 10 feet from the edge of asphalt to that beginning of the stone wall. And the stone wall is a couple of different places. You have, and it's all heavy wooded with vegetation, a lot of trees between these stone walls and the edge of asphalt. So I'm not really sure, to answer your question, Paul, where exactly the lot line goes from, but she's 10 feet off that stone wall. And then you have at least 6 to 8 feet, maybe even 10 feet in some areas from that stone wall to the edge of the asphalt. And if you get off the asphalt road, that road, I mean, you're in a pickle. You better hustle and get back on, because there ain't a lot of room for error on that road there. So
Yeah. Well, the reason I was asking is for the variance on it is, the hand drawn one, she's got 10 feet to the front corner of the shed, and you got the wall. It looks like it's a lot less than the back. This one here, she's got it more squared up on it. So you're 10 feet off of the wall. It's like, all right, well, is the wall a property line, or is it the other? What does she really need for the variance?
yeah, I mean, I didn't measure from that stone wall to the asphalt, but it's, if we were to give her like that 20-foot variance, like Rick had said, there'd be some. I don't really know where the lot line is. I'm just assuming it's the edge of roadway.
Yeah.
The 20 would certainly cover it. It'd probably give her more than she needs.
Exactly. And being where it is right now, it's not like that's going to be an issue.
Yeah. Right. We all set on that for the moment, Paul?
Yeah, like I said, that was just my concern is that, we have the right variance written here.
Sure. Bob, did you have any more to comment on this time?
Not really. I mean, it looks pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
I'm even looking if you look to the right where the hand-drawn one is, it's 17 feet.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
then that's 17 feet to the wall from that pin. So
Right.
So it looks like it could be 20 feet there from the corner of the street to the wall.
Right.
So,
It is 20 plus feet from the street to the wall,
Okay.
where the shed is.
right.
It varies, but
It varies, yeah.
Right.
from where the pin is that marks the corner of the property, which is kind of the corner closest to the shed. It's 17 feet from the pin to the road.
Right. I see that.
All right. Jake, did you have a comment at this time?
I drove by there this morning. It looks like the shed is almost 30 feet from the road. And it on the plan, it says that there's a 20-foot easement, which means she does own right up to the road. It's a nice looking shed. You won't even be able to see it in the summertime with the foliage. So
Yeah.
I don't have any issues.
Oh, great. Art, do you have a comment, Art, at this time?
No, all makes sense to me.
Okay, good. All right. So I don't see any abutters. I'll just ask, are there any abutters on the screen that I can't see that would like to be heard at this time? Okay, I don't hear any. We got a letter from David George, the town planner, on behalf of the planning board. And he said that the planning board reviewed this on January 12th, 2021, and they didn't have any comment. So I think at this time, and we could probably close the hearing to public comment. So I guess let's if we're in agreement, we can do a
Rick, if I could just say one thing, can I just request not to be a voting member on this? just because I'm not gonna be around a lot to sign
Okay,
in a week or two, so just
okay,
of keeping it going. If I don't vote, then I don't have to sign on this, and
okay,
no issue with this whatsoever, where it is and how she
okay.
set up, so.
All right. Paul, would you care to step in to vote?
Sure.
Okay, all right. All right, so, do I hear a motion to close the hearing to public comment at this time?
So moved.
Second,
All right, all in favor? Aye. All
Aye.
opposed?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, great. So, all right, so, we've already kind of discussed this. I think my interpretation is that she does own up to the road, just in case there is some variation there, and there really isn't 30 feet. What are your thoughts on if we're gonna grant this variance, what are your thoughts on how much? You wanna go 10 feet, 15, as much as 20? I don't know. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, not knowing really where that property line is, I think we give it 20.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with that.
I agree too, because you can't get any closer than that, you're gonna be on the phone.
Right.
Yeah, that
right,
works.
I think
With
so.
that distance from the wall to the road, she couldn't get any closer than that anyway, so.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
All right, we'll do that. Um, So as far as the hardship, I think this is kind of one of our easier ones. We usually are grappling to find hardship. In this case, before she even knew we were involved, she located this because this was the only place, level spot she could find to put the shed, because of the topography, because it's hilly there, and with the other, soil and everything. So I would be willing to go with the topography of the land, the hilliness, as a hardship on this. Because really the only reasonable place because I think if she could have put it somewhere closer to the house, she probably would have.
Right.
Does that make sense to the board?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So I think we're all on board with this, which would be a 20-foot front setback variance. And I think I begged out of the last two, or at least the last decision. So I'd be happy to write this one.
I could do it, Rick. It's not a big
Oh,
deal.
are you serious?
Yeah.
You're gonna do it? All
I'll
right.
do it.
I can't tell you how happy I am. 'Cause I'll tell you when I see you or later, but there's some issues I got to deal with. I really shouldn't even volunteer to do it. I don't want to go crazy and put on a public forum, but
So what do we want to get it up there? Do we want to try to get it up there for next Tuesday?
yeah, that's usually the way we do it. If we could do it for next Tuesday, that would be great.
Yeah, okay.
And Bob, just to let you know, the buildings are open to the public again, so you will just be able to go up during regular business hours.
And how
Okay.
late are they open on Tuesday?
They haven't done late night since COVID started, so I believe they close at 4. But if you couldn't make it there, Anita has said she can stay a little bit later to accommodate you guys.
Okay, yeah, I don't know about Paul, if he can make it up there, but,
Yeah.
Yeah, Tuesday at 4. Just send me a text when you get it up there. I'll get up there.
okay.
Yeah, and I'll get up there as well before 4 if that's the time. Okay. All right. So I think we have an agreement in principle here per our discussion. We're going to grant we're going to vote on whether to grant a 20-foot front setback variance, and the hilliness, the topography of the land will be the hardship.
Right.
Okay, so could I hear a motion to put this to a vote?
I'll make a motion.
Second,
Okay, so all in favor of putting this issue to a vote, say aye. Aye.
All right.
All opposed? Not opposed? All right, so we'll put this to a vote. So we're going to vote on it now. 20-foot front setback variance. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Okay, so by a vote of 3 ayes and none opposed, we will grant you this variance. I will write the draft of the decision. What the procedure, Ms. Hussey, is that we have 2 weeks to get this in. We will probably get this in in about a week. There will be a 20-day appeal period. If nobody appeals this to the Superior Court or the Land Court, which is probably highly unlikely that that will happen, you can then take a certificate that we will generate and that the clerk will have, and then you can take that and register that with the Registry of Deeds, and you can also get a building permit if you can get a building permit from the town. Okay, so that concludes this particular segment of the hearing. Ms. Hussey, you are perfectly welcome to stay aboard, be on this video, but we're going to take up other business at this time. So thank you very much, and have a nice night.
Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Enjoy the shed.
Thank you. And I want to thank Tamika because she was extremely helpful.
Tamika is always
my
extremely
pleasure.
helpful.
Always is.
Always.
Thanks, Elizabeth. No problem.
Okay,
Thank you.
great.
Have a
Great.
good night.
Okay, so the next item on the agenda would be the acceptance of the minutes from the December 2nd, 2020 meeting. I don't have any objection to them. I'm willing to support accepting them at this time.
I had no issues.
I have no issues.
None.
Motion to accept.
Second.
Okay. All in favor of voting to accept the December 2nd minutes, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right, none opposed, so this is accepted. Tamika, do we have any correspondence or other business that's cropped up?
No, not tonight.
Great. Okay, any other issue that we need to talk about as far as the board goes? Would you like to discuss anything?
Just one quick thing, Rick. Do you know who told that lady 10 feet?
What was that again?
It
You know
was
how she got that memo of 10 feet on the?
it's the new
Oh.
building inspector.
Yeah, I didn't really.
I was just curious how that all went down.
Yeah, that was just like an informal memo, and I looked at it and,
Well, it looked like it was almost like some sort of an app or something that somebody provided to her, and she opens it up and it just says 10 feet. I mean,
yeah.
it was a screenshot of something that she provided, but
Yeah, it's from the Viewpoint software, which is how you apply for the building permit. This actually came to us from Dave George, and I did invite the building inspector to come or to comment, and I never heard back from his office. So
Okay.
yeah.
All right, that's
somebody
fine.
might want to look at how that is working, I guess.
Sure.
I think if somebody was a person, maybe most people put the shed out back. Not many people put it in front of their house. So 10 foot is kind of like a common,
Okay.
Anyway, I was just curious,
Sure. Yeah, I had one quick issue. The town manager, I think either yesterday or today, sent out an email basically suggesting that the boards and commissions on the town use Robert's rules. I was told by Addison Redfield, who was the town moderator at the time, a number of years ago, that the town did not use Robert's rules of procedure. And apparently the town manager wants to use them. So probably we all need to get our hands on the Robert's rules and maybe start working our way in using them. I think we probably use them informally, but it's just something to think about.
Hey, Rick.
We can look at the email.
Rick, I got this right here.
Oh, okay, great. Where'd you get those?
So a buddy of mine, he sits on another board in another town.
Okay.
So I can scan them and send them to everybody tomorrow morning.
Well, that would be great. Well, that'd be
I've
great.
actually got the whole book, believe it or not. Because
Okay.
dealing with the union, I'm kind of pretty up on the Roberts rules and stuff. So we do follow them.
Oh,
We're good.
yeah. Okay, well, I'll still take that, Bob. I'll still
Okay.
take it.
Yeah.
All right, so I think we can probably entertain a motion to adjourn at this time.
So moved.
All right, we got a second? Okay. All in favor of adjourning, say aye.
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 All opposed? Okay, so we're adjourned. Have a good night, everybody. Thank you very much.